2 days after I left the UK, everything opened up and like the world was like okay over there in a way. And then I got home and I just did like 2 weeks of isolation in the hotel thing that they make you do here. And so I was just like missing out on everything and like everyone's going out and I'm just like, no, I left
Oh
at the wrong
no.
time. But Sydney's actually pretty good, to be honest. Like pretty much everything's open. It's just kind of like,
Really?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I literally can't even fathom what that's like because I mean, I don't know if you've seen, but California is the worst in the US and the US is the worst in the world. So we're
Yeah.
literally in the absolute worst state.
And oh, I didn't know California was the worst. I thought it was still New York that was
As
like,
of yesterday, it's us.
Jesus. Wait, so is everything closed over there?
Literally, there's nothing. Like
Okay.
for a couple of weeks, they opened up restaurants and like nail salons and things like
Yeah.
that. And then immediately, our governor
Just
was
like,
like, "Nope,
no.
nope, 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 nope. We gotta like close
Oh,
it back up." So I think you can still sit on patios and stuff, but it
right.
is, yeah, it's like you. I literally haven't left my apartment much in the last 4 months.
Oh my God. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. That
No, it's okay.
sucks.
It's almost like the new normal. I'm just used to it at this point, you
Yeah,
know?
it's weird. It's crazy how quickly you can actually like adapt to things, eh? Like the thought of it is worse than like when you actually have to do it. You're like, okay, I'm used to it now. It's the new normal. It's all good.
Yeah, I feel like it usually takes 3 months to get used to something. And I think,
Yeah.
I mean, we're definitely there. So to me, it just doesn't even seem weird anymore. I'm just like, I live
This is my
alone and I see
Oh,
my
you're alone
sisters.
there too.
Hmm.
Oh my God. Well,
It's
good
a
on you.
real, it's a real social. I feel like I'm on a reality show. Like I'm waiting for Ashton Kutcher to jump out and be like,
Where's
this has
Ashton?
been a joke.
I hope for your sake that it is.
Yeah, it's cool though because it's allowed me to work through so much shit that I feel like I've been suppressing for years, you know?
Right.
Because
Okay.
it's with Emo Night, we actually met you guys at Sad Summer last summer. I think
Yeah, I think I remember that.
you DJ'd one of our after party things like very briefly.
Yep,
Do you
yep, yep.
remember?
I remember. Yep.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I mean, our lifestyle is very similar to what you guys go through, where, we're always like traveling and just on the go. And
Mhm.
for the last 5 years that we've been doing Emo Night, it's been like that, just
Yeah.
constantly. So it's
Mhm.
truly the first time since maybe I was 15 that I've just been sitting here and like really thinking about stuff.
With your
And
thoughts.
yeah, and like processing the last however many years.
Yeah, I think I agree with that too. Like, I mean, we get so nostalgic. Like every day, it's like remember this, remember that. Like it's so bad. And like you, like we are constantly like going. And I feel like the last few years have been so quick moving and stuff that yeah, we haven't gotten a time to just sit back and reflect on everything. So you are right in that way. That definitely forces you to kind of like sit back and appreciate all the things you've done and like yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
It's a
it's
blessing
like
in disguise in a way.
Yeah, it's like I've scrolled through my Instagram a couple of times through quarantine, and I've just been like, holy shit, we've done so many things. And I almost feel like I wasn't even present at them because I was like, okay, we're getting on a flight tomorrow morning and we have to like
Yeah,
get to this meeting and we have to see these people. And so you're always thinking about what's next. Whereas now I'm
yeah.
like holding my morning coffee and I'm like, this is
Remember
this is
this.
all I'm doing for an hour. Like this is who I am.
Yeah, no, okay.
um, but I love that you guys are still putting out music because I feel like that's another thing is whenever we're in regular life before this, music comes out and you kind of just listen to like one or two songs on the go, or, you like see a song on a playlist. And it's been cool to be able to consume entire EPs or albums from artists, like beginning to
Sure.
end, and sort of, there's like a lot that goes into the order of songs and how they flow into each other and all that kind of stuff. And watching the music videos that go along with it, it's everybody has more time to do that. So do you think that's kind of been a sort of pro in putting out music during this time?
Definitely. Like you hit the nail on the head. Like people have so much more time now to absorb the things that they're getting presented, I guess. And um, yeah, I mean, last night I listened to the whole Taylor Swift album, all 6 songs, like didn't stop. And like,
Same.
yeah, because we have the time, like I can do it. And yeah, I think it just makes you appreciate it on a whole other level. So if people are doing that with the songs we're releasing, then I'm happy.
Yeah, totally. And yeah, I love especially Jurassic Park, and I love the music video for it. I thought it was really
Thank
cool.
you.
Did you
Thank
guys
you.
film that a while back or?
Yeah, because we were worried about like because the original time we were going to release it was kind of like during this whole the COVID like starting off, and we were like, people are going to think that we are just going against everything and like not social distancing or whatever. But the truth is that we recorded it. We filmed it the day after the tour in the UK finished, and we had like just 2 days back to back. No, sorry, one day. We filmed 2 music videos in one day, and it was
Damn.
the most tired I've ever been in my life.
Jesus, I can't even imagine.
It was a lot, but yeah, no, we're happy with how it came down, and we were so grateful that like we did it straight after that tour because it was probably like a week after all the COVID things started happening, and we were just like, oh my god, like we got it done just in time. So
Yeah,
we're
that's great.
lucky.
How was Sad Summer? Was that a cool experience?
Dude, it's still our favorite tour to date. Like, it was just so good. I don't even really know why. I think it's just the whole vibe of it is, it's summery and like we had White Claws on our rider every day and like it was just so good. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. And the shows were like just so much better than we were thinking, at least the crowds for us anyway, because like, we were a small band and we didn't know what to expect. We'd never done a festival tour before. And so everyone on that tour was so nice. The crowds were awesome. And the weather was great. And there's
Hmm.
nothing bad about it. Like, what can you say that's bad? Nothing.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's funny because you know Eric Tobin?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so so I'm from Hungary and he
Are you
spent
really?
Christmas, yeah, he spent Christmas with us. Randomly, he was just in Europe and I think he saw you guys. This was like maybe 3 years ago. And I think he
Right.
like saw you guys and then like flew to Hungary and hung out with
Oh,
like my family.
oh my God. I
You
remember him
remember?
telling us that. Yeah, I think we were at
Yeah.
Nando's and he was telling us how he was going to Hungary. We were like, oh, okay, cool, random. Sick though.
Yeah, but I remember he's like, you have to check out this band. And I was like, holy shit, I love this so much. But
Oh,
it was so funny because he's just such
that's
a
the most
funny guy. He's
Tobin
like,
thing. That is the
like,
most Tobin thing ever.
yeah, yeah, he's like, I'll just fly around during Christmas. It'll be
Yeah.
great.
And then
I
I get this message like ages ago, and he's like, "Yep, climbing Mount Everest." I'm like, "Okay, look and have at it. It's so good. Like, good on you."
insane. I watched his stories while he was doing that and I felt tired just watching.
Just looking at it, yeah.
I was like, I would never do this,
At
but
least
good for
you've like
you.
now you've kind of like mentally just checked it off the list of things to do now because he's done it for us.
Oh, 100, I will. It's the last thing I would ever do. Like, I love an
Yeah,
accomplishment, but that is
yeah,
just, I'll leave
yeah.
it to, I'll leave
That's a
it to
whole
other
other
people.
thing.
Yeah. So I wanted to kind of tie it into Sad Summer. So,
Sure.
we were put on it to do a couple of after parties. And so I looked at the lineup, and of course, it's like, I think you were literally the only female on the lineup,
I think
you know?
Just Friends had a female in their band, but other than
True.
that, I'm pretty sure that was it.
Yeah, and it's it's not a novel thing. It's such a I think huge part of like this scene and the music industry as a whole that
Mhm.
it's very male dominated. But like,
Yeah.
what's been your experience with that? Does it stand out to you? Like, are you on that tour being like, okay, I'm fully surrounded by all guys. It's very male dominant. I'm a minority in this situation. Like, does it stand out to you, or is it totally normal?
I think like in the recent years, it's definitely made me realize it. But in my everyday life, like on tour and stuff, like I think I've always grown up around boys. I've always hung out around boys, so I've never kind of felt that thing of like, oh, I'm the only girl here. It's kind of like, oh, there's another girl here. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just not really part of my like day to day thinking, but which I think is not really a good thing, but it's just the way I was brought up, I guess. But now that it's all coming to light, it's kind of like made me think about it and realize, like, okay, like, am I the only girl on this lineup? Like, could they have not found someone else? Like, I don't know. But I try not to like kind of talk about this too much because sometimes I can feel kind of conflicted about the whole thing. And I don't know. I just think my view on it, is in terms of like where I stand with it, is that I want to be like, I just want to show through example. I don't like it when like people just kind of talk about it and then do nothing about it. I'd rather like say my piece every now and again, but actually just show through example. Like, it doesn't matter that you're a girl in a band. Who gives a crap? Like, if you are a female and you want to do this, just do it and don't think about it. Like, do not think about it and don't let it hold you back, because the more that you think about it, I think can hold you back in a way, because you're thinking about it all the time. Whereas like I grew up listening to like Avril Lavigne, and my mum was really into like Janis Joplin and like all that kind of thing. And I never went in thinking I'm a girl doing this. I kind of was just like, I'm a person, I'm a human being. This is what I want to do. I'm going to fucking do it. I don't care what anyone says or what the rules are. I'm just going to go and do it. And I think that's and those people that I was listening to as well, those females, were doing that as well. And I think that was what was special about it. Just that they just shut up and just did it. And I just think there's a power to that. But I will say that, of course, it is important to talk about it, of course. But I don't know. I think a lot of people are more eloquent than I. So I'd rather just be like, this is me. This is what I'm doing. I'm proving to you that, you can do whatever you want just by me being here. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
No, I totally agree with you. I'm the exact same way. Because that I believe in that. It's like you have to do what you want to do, and it's all coming from you as a person, not necessarily like I'm a female and like. But I will say my other two partners that we like run emo night with and DJ with and everything are guys, and through the years I've had to point out certain things to them, like see, like, this is the way the sound guy like ignored me or talked to me, or this is how, we would go into venues, and every venue, like, always a dude would greet us and they'd be like, oh, you're the merch girl. And I was like, no, I'm not the merch girl. I'm like part of and there's been instances where like we're setting up CDJs and something's wrong. And I remember like this specific time, there's like 3 dudes trying to fix it. And I was like, oh, I've encountered this specific problem. Like, this is what you do. And they were like, no. Like, we know what's up. And I was like, cool. And I stood back for like 30 minutes. And after 30 minutes, they did the exact thing that
you were going to do.
And so it's moments like that where I think it's important to speak up. And so it's not necessarily like, speak
up in the moment, I think, is super important too, that people don't do either. I think you're right with that. Like, people come away with these stories, but, in the moment they didn't do anything. And it's like, that is super important. You need to do something in the moment as well. Like, I don't know. Because, I think we've all dealt with situations like you were saying, like, it's kind of impossible not to go through your life as a woman and, confront those kind of situations. But, there's been times where we were playing a festival and I wasn't wearing a lanyard. No, I was wearing a lanyard, sorry, to like get in, like a pass. And I was with the guys and our crew and everyone, none of which were wearing lanyards, or half of them were. And I'm literally with the group, and I'm the only girl in the group, and we're going in like to the backstage artist area, and the security man stops me, doesn't stop anyone else. And then he was like telling me that I can't go in because of my pass. And I'm just like, what are you, like, that is the most backwards thing I've ever encountered. And I'm like, you didn't stop any of those people that were and weren't wearing the same lanyard I'm wearing. Like, what the hell is your deal? And like, what do you do? Like, you have to just like give it to him because like it's fucking stupid. Fuck off. I literally told him, your head's not screwed on right. Like, this is backwards. Fuck off. I'm going. And I just walked in. I was like, fuck you.
Totally. Yeah. No, 100%. And it's addressing it in the moment. And then it's also, just teaching the people around you. And I think that's been really important for me to just point things out to Morgan and TJ, because in the beginning they weren't like, oh, this is in your head. But I would be like, check out this specific thing. And they're like, holy shit. And then, now it's been so many years that they're totally so good about everything. And they'll call people out before I don't even notice things anymore. They're like, don't talk to her like that. I'm like, oh, I didn't even know that was a thing.
That's good. They're helping us do our own shit, which we shouldn't
Yeah.
even have to do in the first place. So
Exactly. It's like having an extra job on top of like,
literally.
yeah. It's so wild. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's a really good point that you're making, that it isn't about talking about it really. It's just,
I mean, talking about it, of course, is important. I don't want to like, overshadow that in any kind of way. It's
yeah.
just my own personal view of it is just, I'm just going to do it and show younger girls that want to do like something like what I'm doing that you can, and your gender is not going to stop you from doing that
Hmm.
because it doesn't have to at all.
In that sense, though, do you ever feel a kind of pressure to be a role model in a way,
Yeah.
where, you know, you feel like, okay, I'm representing women in this scene or in the music industry as a whole, or really in the world as a whole? And so do you ever feel like you kind of have to put yourself on a pedestal and make sure that you're kind of perfect in a way so that other like young girls or people in general who are looking up to you can see an example?
In a way, I think it's a bit of give and take because I don't want to be this like perfect person, even though I am. But like, I don't want to be.
Same.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to be this like perfect things. I think that's super unrealistic. Like, no one is like that. Um, so it's important to like not be afraid to make mistakes every now and again. Obviously, don't be racist and don't be homophobic and anything like that. Obviously, but like in terms of like your life, it's okay to make mistakes, and I think a lot of people struggle with that, myself included. um Even now, like with everything going on, like I am afraid to tweet. I'm just like, what if someone takes this the wrong way, no matter what it is? Like I'm just like, I've got Twitter anxiety, and it's so shit because it's like it's part of like what we have to do. But oh my god, like even the other day I tweeted about like a dream I had where I was in a dwarf only restroom, and I got in my, I know, and then in my dream I got cancelled because as the dwarf was helping me out of the restroom because I was in the wrong one, I called him a little legend. And then I got cancelled in my dream, and I was like, can I even tweet about this? Like, am I going to get cancelled for this? Like, and I hate thinking like that. I just want to be able to like say my shit, and then I don't know, I'm kind of learning now to just like say it and apologize later if it needs to be addressed. But yeah, I think people are afraid of making mistakes for sure because Twitter is toxic as fuck. And it's like you've got like 14-year-olds on there that don't really know how the world works or anything. And a lot of the time, like it's bullying the way that, I don't know if I'm getting too deep into this right now,
No,
but
go
like
for it.
I'm just going on a rant. But like, yeah, in a way it's bullying, and that to an extent is just as bad as the people they're condemning for certain actions. It's like you don't know how the world works, and when you're that young, and you don't have enough life experience, and you don't realize as well that the things you're saying now to these people on a mass scale like is harmful, and it is bullying. Like there's no other way to put it in my eyes. And like fucking miss me with that bring up old things that people did when they were 14. Like just miss me with that shit. I can't stand it. But like at the same time, I do get it. But yeah, I don't know. I've got a lot of feelings about this. You've pricked me. But
I mean, I do too. I feel like people hide behind their screens and they're like, I'll say whatever. But
oh, it's so easy.
it's,
Yeah.
yeah, but I don't know. I used to let that get to me a
Mm,
lot, like to the point where I started therapy because of it. Because
right.
in the beginning of starting emo night, I had never been in like the spotlight or whatever. Not like
Right.
we're, super in the public eye, but it was the first time where people on the internet had an opinion about me as a person.
Yeah, for sure.
Like because of what? Because of like a DJ night that I do. You have no idea who I am as a person.
Yeah.
But it really got to me. Like Noisy
Yeah.
put out this one article about us where I was like, I'm gonna
But,
stop doing everything I'm doing. I'm gonna
oh
move to a
no.
farm and I will
Oh no,
never come
don't let
back.
the media fuck you over like
Yeah,
that.
but this was like, 6 months in. And then I
Yeah,
started going to therapy and like pretty much immediately worked it all out in
yeah,
like 3 months. And after that, I've never cared one time, like
that's so good.
at all. But did you in the beginning find, or do you ever find it like getting to you?
For sure. Like, I can't look at YouTube comments because I'm just like,
YouTube's the worst.
yeah, I know. I've just like accepted the fact that it's AIDS. Like, I just don't bother. I don't know. Oh shit! Can I get cancelled for saying that? I don't know anymore.
I think you're fine.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So I don't know. I just can't. Like, it's weird because sometimes, I mean, back in the day when I was really young, I'd put like covers up on YouTube. That's kind of how I got into like, being in a band in the first place and singing. And the comments, like, if even though you'd get like 50 good ones, like just that one that's like just a little bit like sour, it just gets you and you're like, oh my God, they're right, they're right, they're right. And like you just take it all on board and it's so unhealthy. And I don't really know how to let go of that, to be honest. Like I think you just have to not look at it. Just don't look at it. Force yourself to just not read the comments, and then like it can't hurt you because you can't see it. But I think also definitely like through experience and like just being kind of accustomed to it now, like having opinions of me and our band, like you do kind of learn to just let things slide and it doesn't affect you as much because you realize like that's just on a screen, that those words don't appear in my actual real life, like I can just get on with it. But
Oh no, you froze.
oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh no, you're back. You're back now.
Yeah. You were just like this for ages and I was like, oh, she's really interested
Like
in what
really
I'm saying.
pensive.
Yeah.
You cut off like maybe like 10 seconds ago.
Okay. So to sum it up, I think the only way to really get past those things is to like, yeah, realize that whoever's writing that comment is not in your real life. And also, just, I think also just experience, just having it like, and accepting that that's just going to happen regardless, and you cannot please everyone. You literally can't. And that's coming from me, who was like the biggest people pleaser growing up. I still kind of am in a way. Like it fucking sucks when someone doesn't like you or is say something negative. It sucks, but there is a way to just kind of like let it go. Just know that it's not actually to do with you. These people don't know you. And sometimes that's the worst part about it, is the fact that they have no idea who you are, yet they're saying this such an offensive thing. It's
Yeah,
like, I don't know. In a way,
totally.
maybe we just have to get over ourselves. I don't know.
Oh, 1,000%. My
Yeah.
therapist, the thing she said that like made me completely get over it in one session, and
Yeah.
this like doesn't even really make sense. I've said this to certain people, and they're like, "Okay, you're crazy." But she said, think about a negative comment as if someone's throwing a potato at you, and
Yeah.
you have enough time to like get out of the way where it can just go past you, or you can stand there and let it hit you.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, think about like negative comments like that. Like you can literally just get out of the way and like keep
Yeah.
going with your life. And I
Yeah.
don't know, for some reason that
That
after
was
that day, I was like,